So I actually did start my career here in North Attleboro. Grew up as a student, attended North Attleboro High School, and during my time at the high school, I had an internship in the student superintendent's office. So I spent my summers learning the ins and outs of the school district, and sort of that was the beginning of my appreciation for how districts and large schools, really could function and operate as a collective team and then as individual sort of entities. And I, since during college, became a special education teacher, worked with students in Boston with severe emotional disabilities, and then progressed into a public school system as a middle school teacher, a team chair, and then became a district level administrator several years back in Holliston. And then when I saw the opening in North Attleboro, it seemed sort of like a sign to me to come back to my roots and come back actually physically to the building that I had started my little high school summer job at. So it's been a pleasure joining the team, and I'm excited for this unique school year ahead.
And I'd be remiss by not pointing out that your mom was Patty Lush, yearbook advisor, television class, English teacher, I believe.
Correct, yeah.
So there's a Lush back in the school system.
Exactly, yes, yeah.
Jessica, how about you? How did you end up here in North Attleboro?
So I actually started my career here in North Attleboro. I'm originally from Attleboro. I went to Bridgewater State College at the time, and now it's university, and student taught at Allen Avenue and the Early Learning Center, and then started my career right from there. Got hired at the ELC, taught both integrated classrooms, substantially separate classrooms, and then I was afforded the opportunity to move to Martin School in an integrated kindergarten program, and from there taught 7 years there, first grade and kindergarten as well. My husband recently deployed overseas, and I had older kids, so I took that time for myself to just do some more education. For me, I went back to Bridgewater State University for educational leadership, and then became a team chair last year for Roosevelt and Community, and then applied for this position, and really excited to join the team.
Now, for people who don't know, and I'm among them, what does the Student Services Department handle?
So, so it's definitely changed over the years. So special education, 504s, McKinney-Vento, as well as,
Like nursing guidance.
Nursing,
So years ago, the position traditionally in most districts across the Commonwealth was a special education director. I'm coming from a role of being a student services director, and I think North Attleboro sort of, maybe in the recent years, has sort of experienced that. I think it is more encompassing than just special education. We acknowledge that there's a variety of educational services that children require that are essentially non-academic in nature, and so a lot of those things fall under the bucket of student services, like Jessica was mentioning. So whether it's homeless care, foster care support, guidance, nursing, sort of all that non-academic areas, that preventative level of care that we are more broadened now than just special education services.
COVID-19, what type of challenges does that pose?
How long do you have? Yeah, you're right. So I don't know an educational leader right now that has experienced being an educational leader during a pandemic. We take our jobs, even when it's a non-pandemic year, very seriously in terms of ensuring educational rights for students and that they are successful. And so it's a challenge that really requires us to pull on our local experts, really work collaboratively as a team, really think outside the box, or almost relearn or unlearn ways in which we think traditional education can be provided. So whether that's a special education service, like a speech service to a child, what could that look like remotely, or what could that look like even with various health restrictions in place? So at the end of the day, we are still committed and responsible to serving students. We just now have a lot of increased variables that are going to sort of impact our work in the ways that we traditionally know it to be done. But we've been spending all summer trying to prepare for that.
Jessica, final question. Are you going to miss not being in the classroom with the students?
I am. I really enjoyed the students. As team chair, I was able to get into the classrooms, and I know that's one of the things that we talk about is, really still being part of, that classroom atmosphere and, traveling to different schools. So I'll still get to see them.
She just was, I was so grateful during the summer. We did have students in person with us at the Early Learning Center and then at Martin School. And Jessica was one of the few sort of administrators or team chairs at that time to be in classroom spaces with children now under sort of our new COVID environment. But it was great that we even had children in our buildings this summer to be with. So that was a nice bright spot.